Hey, community, it's Marko.
And Tony from Relationship Podcast.
Here's what's brewing today.
Relationship Podcast is back.
Fuck them kids.
And RSVP. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report on this fine Labor Day, actually. It's Auntie Corell.
It's Auntie Dewan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell.
Hey, ladies, but it's an extra special episode. One voice you just recently heard, actually, but another voice, it's been a minute. It's been about 2 years, honestly. I think it's damn near like to the day that we've had you on here.
That's a long
It's
minute.
Marko and Tony from Relationship Podcast. What's up, booze?
Yes.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back, baby.
Right.
Thank you.
honey.
Having us. Hi, y'all. So happy to see y'all's faces. I wish it was in person, but
I know.
we'll
I
take
know.
what we can get, right?
Especially the one halfway across the world. So,
Listen.
he said, you gonna get me on this TV screen.
Look,
Exactly.
I'm already looking at the calendar for when we come back so we can plan another gallivant through the woods like we did last year around this time.
Sounds good to me.
I
Well,
love it.
around Halloween, not around this time.
I love
Okay,
it.
I was
like,
Yeah,
what happens
in
in the
October.
woods?
No, I already done cussed Corell out because not really cussed him out, but I was like, Corell, I was like, how is it that I hung out with Jarrell and Fizz in Paris, saw him in Seattle, we hang out with Dewan on a frequent basis, but we have only spent one time with you.
That's a true
We
statement.
need more. We need
I agree
more.
with that statement.
And you're not even
And
that
you guys
far
are more than
away.
welcome to come to Philly,
She
too,
don't,
by the
she
way.
don't like y'all.
We do need
That's
to.
what
We
it
need
boils
to.
down to.
We need to try. And it's
She
sad
don't like
too.
y'all.
Right,
It's
like
crazy.
I've been dodging.
It's crazy too because we have a car, so we could always just hop in a car and go down to Philly
And
too.
we have
So
guest
we can
rooms,
make that
so
happen.
come on down, bitch.
I
Oh,
enjoy
we should
Philly.
do
I
we should
do.
do a couples weekend in Philly.
I like it.
That would be fun.
Yeah, why not?
There we go.
Let's make
Yeah.
it.
Make it work.
And by the way, this shout out is to Corey because I know I got 2 strikes against me,
Ooh, that's true.
even though it's
Oh,
even though it's not me that's making these decisions. By the way,
obstacles.
That is true. That is true. And
So-
Corey, and you know Corey mean it too.
honey, I already know.
Ooh, ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
Uh-oh.
Doing the robot. Doing the robot.
no,
Oh, okay, bro.
No.
Whoa.
no.
That was the freedom
We
remix.
loved-
You
I
froze
like
it.
that. That was a good version.
That was a good remix. I appreciate that. It was right on
Man.
time.
I hope that stays in the audio so I can keep that in. That was
Kind of,
fire.
right?
Honey,
Oh, that was great.
listen, that was the spirit of Corey injecting that energy into this podcast.
Corey said, keep my name out your mouth.
He said, "Don't show up one more time and see what happens." Oh, that's right. But
Love it.
Relationship Pod, you're coming up on a new season here, right? Your new season about to drop.
Very
Yeah,
soon,
we are.
very
Yeah.
soon.
So what? By the time this comes out, it'll be out on Wednesday the 6th. We're here for our 8th season, which is very exciting.
Yes, come on.
Yeah. So we're very excited. It's very fun.
So
It's gonna
8
be a good
seasons.
time.
Like when you started, did you have like a goal in mind? We're like, oh, we don't gonna make it for 4 seasons. We don't gonna do 6 seasons. Or you're like, nope, we're just enjoying the journey. However many seasons happens.
Yeah, it was more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
we'll do
Tony
this
and
till
I
it's
have
not fun anymore.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say the same thing. It's always been we'll do it until it's not fun anymore, and then at that point, like we'll be done with it. And it's so funny because I mean, y'all know it. You do a podcast long enough, there comes those like those ebbs and flows, right? Where you're like, all right, I'm really enjoying this. This is a really good time, and then sometimes you're like, God damn it, we got to record again. Like, like, and every single time Tony and I think that we're just about done with it, like we're like, okay, maybe we just want to get our lives back. one of our listeners will email us with something that's like super meaningful
Very
and tell us that we
heartwarming,
really
yeah.
helped them with something,
Mhm.
and we're like, all right,
I
guess
guess
that
we
means
gotta
we
keep
got to
doing
keep
this.
going.
I don't honestly like anymore. Like, because like I mean, we text throughout the week all the time, but there's certain things that we know we don't want to text and talk about because we want to say for the podcast. So I'd be looking forward to it. I'm like, ooh, bitch, I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah,
I
get it.
literally like, because I like to troll people on the internet for I just
Feels so out of character.
let me tell you, I will go on a friend's
Not a
post.
characteristic of the Capricorn that we would expect.
Honey.
Girl, I would literally go on a friend of a friend's like Facebook status and be like, and just going. I was actually, you know how I went to bed last night? So you know how Adele like stuck up for that fan at her concert, right?
Mhm.
Which Dewan reminded me of the two girls that were like drunk in front of us. We went to saw Adele.
Yes.
And I was like, I get it. Like I absolutely get it. But not me on the YouTube videos in the comments, girl. Just be like, well, if you had enough money to be there, you would know that at the beginning of her show, after she opens with Adele, she says to stand up. I was like reading all the girls and the comments.
I love this.
Being like,
I love this.
And so for there, since you can't afford to be in there, you can't comment or say anything. Bitch, I
love it.
I understand.
The point
It's
is,
Carell's disbelief face that is cracking me up right now.
It's not really disbelief. I believe it. It's like, yep. Okay.
it's the I'm used to it face at this point.
It was funny. I Googled myself yesterday and I was like, I Googled like my email address and somehow like my address popped up. And I was like, how does my address? And I was like, well, I'll be telling people to come fight me if they want to. So I'm sure it's out there on the internet. Like, I'm like, well, I did it to myself.
There you have it. There you have
Well, that
it.
makes me think, like, is there one maybe comment or disagreement that you've had maybe with listeners over the years, over the seasons that you're like, ooh, that one stung, or ooh, I still got shit to say on that.
The only thing that I can think about, and this is the first thing that popped in my head, and it wasn't necessarily a disagreement. It was a disagreement, right? Because we interviewed a couple, and we interviewed them like maybe 3 weeks before we put their episode out.
Oh, I know what you're gonna
during
say.
that time period, the couple had broken up. So, but we didn't know that. And so we put their we put the episode out, we put all of the the commentary that we had put for their episode out there. And we get an email back from one of the partners who had already been in another, like gotten herself in another relationship. And she was like, you can't post this. Like, you need to delete this information. And I was like, so that's not how it works. like, and we literally went back and forth. She told us that we needed to get rid of the stuff on the Instagram page because she didn't want all of that. Like, I didn't give you permission for that, blah, blah, blah. And she like went back and forth with us for a while. And I told Tony, I was like, look, I'm not getting ready to argue with this person over a very mediocre interview to begin with. So
shade.
I was like, you know what? I will do you the favor of not linking anything back to you because it's not really like we care if anyone knows who you are. So we'll get rid of that and good luck on your new relationship kind of thing. Like, I just didn't really care. So that's probably the only thing that I think that we have had, like, I don't know, like a back and forth or a beef
friction.
And then Tony sought legal counsel, and we have a release they have to sign before we interview them now.
Because I was not. It was
there's a whole packet
annoying.
you got to read through. Yeah, no, that was
it was really annoying. So
wow.
Disagreements for us. Marko and I disagree every time we give advice. Marko says, fuck that. And I'm like, well.
I was gonna say, if you've listened to the podcast, then you know
Right.
Tony and I don't necessarily agree with each other. Yeah, the beef usually happens across the table,
Between
not
us, it's
necessarily.
not with the listeners. It's with the podcasters.
Yeah.
Love
It's
it.
pretty funny.
Is there
I
something
think
upcoming in
we've
this new
agreed like
season?
twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking all over you.
No. I think we've agreed like twice.
Yeah,
Not twice.
8 seasons agreed twice.
Right.
twice. Yeah,
Hey, it keeps it entertaining, honestly.
it's true. It's true.
Is there something that you haven't done that you're looking forward to in this upcoming season, or anything that you're like looking back on and kind of doing in this new season?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Of course, Tony and I had our production meeting, and we just kind of talked about what is season 8 going to be like. And there's a lot of really great milestones that are coming up right now. Later this year in October, we will be 7 years married,
Hey,
which is nice.
Aw,
And then
congratulations.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
But then also 14 years together in August
Now.
this month, which is crazy. So, with that being said, Tony and I, like, we met each other when I was 25 and he was 27. So we were young. We were
Babies.
infants at
Newbie,
that time.
nubile,
Yes. Yes.
Wait a
skin
minute. Marco
tight,
is still
body tight.
nubile. No, hang on. My husband is still nubile.
I wish. That's
Okay,
the agreement
listen.
that I have with the doctors.
You better get them cooter points. You better get them cooter points, honey.
Period. He knows what he's doing. He's like, this ain't been 14 years. I know what I need to do.
Yeah,
One
right.
thing we know Tony is gonna do, he gonna get them cooter points.
I know that's right.
And then we went through our 30s together, which is great. And so now the two of us, like, I'll be 40 next year. Tony is 41 now. Like, so we're kind of hitting that age in that part of the relationship too, where, like, all right, what happens next? Like,
Yeah.
what do we do next? Like, where does our relationship happen next? And so obviously one of the bigger topics that we were talking about is, like, and I would love to ask y'all this question as well, because y'all are in long-term relationships, but, like, Tony and I started our relationship wanting kids, and now we're, like, in our 40s, right? And we're like, so I wonder if y'all went through that or something similar, or, like, how was the children conversation for y'all when you guys started first dating and all that good stuff?
We just recircled that conversation at the beginning of this year,
Okay.
honestly. And
Okay.
that's a big reason for, like, my push in my career this year and getting my certifications and trying to get the promotions that I'm working for, and same with him trying to get new jobs. And because we both still want to have kids, but it went from kids to a kid.
Singular.
Like, right. Because we know time and money. So we're like, oh, well, we might have to rearrange what this might look like. So we were like, at least a kid. But no, you just know how someone's born to, like, be a dad or, like, to be a parent. Like,
Yeah.
we are two individuals who are literally, we're born to, like, we have to. I don't think neither of us see a future of us being older without having a kid, whether that's together or single or in any frame. Like, we want to be parents at some point in our lives. So yeah, it's gonna happen.
Good for you. I love that.
Whether we together or not, because my mom reminds me all the time, it's 2023. You don't need a man to do nothing. I told my mama, everybody ain't trying to be on that single train with you, lady. I love you, but you might have to be in that first cart by yourself.
In the sleeper cart.
It's and it's really funny that you say that too, because Tony and I actually had this super deep conversation where I was like, I feel like I don't need to convince you that we need to have kids. And so I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold, but I can tell you that if you and I are not going to be together forever, I can literally see me going and getting a kid tomorrow. Getting a kid, like they're at Walmart or something. Like,
especially at the Kroger.
Depending on where you are in the world, you can.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, right?
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
So I said that
That's
same thing. So I feel that energy too, Jarrell, because that was definitely something that I said. What about you, Carell? Like, did y'all want kids?
it's ebbed and flowed over the years, and honestly, we have the age gap. So I think Corey's at the point he's like, "Bitch, we might have missed that window." Like, bitch, no. And
Yeah.
and honestly, over time I've had to kind of dissect why I wanted a kid. I think I'd be a great father. A,
Mhm.
B. I think for a while though, like my brother and I are the last of the. Have I ever said? I guess people can find me. Gravis last name. I'm like, have I ever said my last name on this podcast? Of our last name, and I put pressure on myself to be like, oh shit, like what happens? Like that sucks for the name to die out. And then my brother has two girls, and then like a stepson. So like, and the stepson doesn't have the Revis last name. So for the longest, I was like, oh man, I'm like the last hope, you know.
Yeah.
And that still kind of trickles in my mind at times.
Hmm.
But the pressure of it isn't maybe as heavy, and it's kind of one of those things too. It's just like if it happens, it happens. It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't think I will feel like I missed out, but I do think I'd be a great parent. I think it would be fun. I'm sure there's obviously pros and cons to everything, but so I don't know. It's one of those things, and honestly, every once in a while, Corey be like, "Should we adopt? Should we da da da?" Like it'll come up out the blue for him still too. So it's just like I don't know. But
That's
as of
fascinating.
now, we're not planning on it.
I love
It's not I don't see it in my pamphlet as of today.
There you go. Right.
But if you accidentally get pregnant, that's okay.
If I'm gonna keep trying. We'll try.
And what about you, Dewan? Is Barbie going to be a big sister?
Y'all already know I already got a daughter, so that's it. That's it for the
That's
Hawkins
it.
Harris family.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, the tuition is killing me right now because
Exactly.
The tuition. I know the back to school clothes.
Yeah.
The school clothes. Right.
But no,
right.
we had a conversation very early on, and I've never really had a burning need to have kids myself. I love being a gunkle. I absolutely love it, and I think if I were ever with someone that had a burning desire to have kids, I would acquiesce. But I personally never had the desire. I know that I would be a good parent, although the concept of being a parent drives me. It gives me anxiety. It drives me up the wall because I think that I would be such an overprotective parent. Just thinking about like my own life and what I would have wanted for myself and what I would want to give to if I ever had a kid, that I had to take care of. I would want to make sure that they had just that overwhelming amount of support and nourishment and care and all those kinds of things. But I've never felt like personally driven to have kids. So I feel like if you don't have that, then why push it? But I was open if I was with somebody that wanted to have kids, and I would acquiesce. And I think that I would, that would be a really great life. But thankfully, I'm not. And I could be completely selfish.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. Right. That
I'm
was the
so
key
glad
word.
everybody else caught that too, because I was like,
and that's why she's dialing in from goddamn Rio de Janeiro today. So
that
That
part,
part.
yeah, good for you.
Because honey, that would not be happening.
Yeah. So I
The cool
think
thing
this
though is like you can
season,
change your mind over time. That's the cool thing is
Sure.
having those conversations. Like it sounded like you two wanted to at the beginning, and as the journey goes along, it's fine to be like, you know what, life has changed, life is life, and whatever, and it's okay to update those goals, update that journey, update those plans, and not feel hostage to maybe a conversation you had 14 years ago.
Right.
So
There's
I think
one
that's a
other
healthy
thing.
conversation.
There's one other thing though in this conversation that we haven't really talked about. It's the heteronormative concept that being in a relationship almost requires it to look a certain kind of way, and that includes 2 kids, a picket fence, living in the suburbs, da 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 da. That whole thing. And I
Right.
think one of the things that at least that I'm learning is how to unpack the things that I've been conditioned through television, through media, through family, through church, through all of the things that influence us, really unpacking that to see, is this something that I'm conditioned to want, or is it something that I intrinsically, as a human being
Right.
living on this planet, really want and desire? I think, for someone like Jarrell, who I think would be an incredible parent, but exudes that parent energy, like exudes it. Like she can't hide from it. This
No.
bitch is gonna have like she's
95
gonna have 10
children.
kids. She's gonna have
Right.
10 kids one way,
Yeah.
honey, one way or another. She gonna
I
have
want a
that.
basketball
It's gonna be-
squad.
it's gonna
I
be
want
fit.
enough for a basketball squad. That's
It's
how
gonna
many
be
I
Fizz and
actually
Rail
want.
plus 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fizz and Rail plus 12.
Yeah. That part.
I love it.
But then
Well,
there's a
see,
vast
what's funny
majority
about
of us.
that?
But there's a vast majority of us are kind of like in that weird zone of like, well, wait a minute, do I really want to have kids? And of course, being gay, being in a male to male relationship, physiologically, it is impossible to have an oops baby in this
Sure.
context. So the off chance that an oops baby can come alive or come be a part of this is no longer there. So
And like
it
a
really
cis male,
becomes a matter of
cis male relationship. Yeah.
right. And so for us, it has to be a conscious decision, because there are so many hoops that we have to jump through in order to get to, whether it's surrogacy, whether it's adoption, whether it's whatever, whether it's
Right.
foster care or whatever. It becomes an intentional decision.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, a lot of gay individuals, gay, lesbian, LGBTQIA, gender nonconforming individuals are starting to unpack this notion of like, well, do I really want this, or have I been conditioned to want it? So I've kind of like fallen into it.
Well,
So what's interesting
go
for
ahead.
me about this, I'm so sorry. What's interesting
No, you're
for
good.
me about this, and it's something that I need to sit with personally, is I'm a prove you wrong kind of person. Like I'm the kind of person that
Yes, you are.
100%.
Gemini.
I'm a prove you wrong kind
Oh,
of
I
person.
can't.
So I struggle all the time with the concept of trying to prove to people things that they didn't think that I would be able to accomplish because I'm black, or things that I couldn't do because I'm gay, or things that I shouldn't be able to do because I'm in an interracial relationship, whatever it is that somebody says that I shouldn't be able to do. I am like hell bent on proving them wrong. And so one of the things that I have consistently tried to convince myself is that I want to have a child so that I can have a non-asshole as the next generation, because I hate what is
I'm not
going
sure that's how
on.
it completely works.
Not the anti-asshole agenda over here.
Right.
I want to be able to have a really good, well-rounded, balanced child that came from a home with two fathers that y'all thought couldn't raise a decent child because there was no mother. Like a child that's educated and multilingual and grew up in the city. Like I have this like vision in my head for how to like literally flip everybody off and say, look what I did. Kind of thing. And I have to get that notion out of my head,
Yeah.
because I'm like, is that the
That
right
might not be the
motivation to
healthiest
do it?
motivation.
Right.
By the way,
wait,
let
my
the
child, my
record
middle
show-
finger?
let the record show
It's not healthy.
this is very Gemini energy right now. I mean, this is very, very Gemini energy. It's not me, it's all about me.
Here's what I know.
Go ahead.
What I know is, for y'all living in New York, y'all better have some coin because they just released
Honey.
the top 10 most expensive urban areas in
It's
New
true.
York, back at the top here, Manhattan.
It's true.
So, like, if the index is 100 for like the median, I'm not sure if people know how indexes work, so I don't want to get into all the math of the nerdiness of it. But New York, Manhattan's at a 222, so that means 2.2 times more than the average just to live in New York City. Brooklyn's in the top 4, so if you're trying to move to Brooklyn, sorry, ho, you still up there. Seattle's number 9, so Jarrell, cough up some coins, get them coins
Girl.
ready.
That's literally why we had the conversation.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, though. It's just like, that's also a factor into a lot of it. It's just like, okay, stack your coins, especially for cis male, like the planning aspect of it. Where you live might play a role of if you can, if you can't, or how well you can and how well you can't, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then also on the list, it shows like the least expensive areas. And I'm curious, would you all be able to move
Nope.
to a least expensive area? And I'll tell you
Marco's
the list
done.
here.
Marco's done.
Marco's like, I'm out this bitch.
Nope.
I don't care
Yeah.
how well my vision of this kid will be in this least expensive area. I ain't going. So number 1, the least place is, I don't even know where this is in Texas, but it's in Harlingen, Texas. And that's at a 75.9. Decatur, Illinois. Muskogee, Oklahoma. McAllen, Texas. Tupelo, Mississippi. I've heard of that.
I've been to Tupelo.
They got good honey.
Tupelo too.
I have a friend from Atlanta that his best friend lives in Tupelo, so that's the only way I heard of it.
I got
Lawton,
diverted there
Oklahoma.
from some air traffic control shit. So
Kalamazoo, Michigan. Okay. Ponca City, Oklahoma. Pittsburgh, Kansas, and Conway, Arkansas. Any of those sound appealing?
You ain't said 10 words that I liked.
I heard Oklahoma 6 times.
I'm going to quote the great Randy Jackson. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no.
I'm not gonna do it. And like I can't. And I tell Tony this all the time, because on that I tell him, I'm like, Tony, there are people who live in New York City who make far less than we do and manage to get by. They don't have a lavish lifestyle.
Kids.
They don't do anything. They got all sorts of kids and 2-bedroom apartments, and they make it fucking work. I know we could do it. I know we can do it. So yes, you're absolutely right. And it's New York is very expensive, but I also think that it's possible. So I don't want to like count anything out just because of those circumstances. I know we can make it happen if we put our minds to it. We can make it happen.
I've been making it happen for almost 10 years.
I know that's right. Yeah, I saw this list, and I always thought growing up, it was just like, you hear situations where people are like, I can't afford to live in the city. I can't afford. I'm like, bitch, then move out. And I still kind of feel that way in a way. Like if if the chips really are down, it's like, bitch, get out that expensive ass city. It's like, I get it. I get it. I don't want to move either. But if I had to do what I had to do, I'm going to do what I got to do. But it would not be my first option, my second option, my third option. It'd be like plan X.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were just talking literally on Saturday, coming back from a rib cook-off. We were talking about like it was good. It was good. It was good. You know how black folks be doing.
It's so rib cook-off in so long.
Either.
It's so funny because he said 2 words and all of our brains, our black brains, flooded with all the images of everything that you can eat at a rib cook-off.
I bet they had good potato salad there too.
It was everything, y'all. It was everything that y'all imagined it was. Absolutely.
Peach cobbler, beef ribs, the whole
They got collard greens over there too.
They had collard greens.
It made me think I get invited to no cook-off this summer. I'm upset with that statement.
I had 2 in one day. One was African food. It was people from like Nigeria and Ghana and a couple of different places that were cooking a bunch of different African foods. And then that was like the brunch time, and then at night was rib cook-off. So let me tell you, that's why she's wearing beef today, because that's how she feels. Okay.
And I bet
they say you are what you eat.
Where the beef
and I bet she went comatose that night, because honey, there ain't nothing like a good night's sleep after you done ate some good ass ribs and
got the meat sweats.
barbecue.
I was all the ribs out
like a light, like a light, bitch. Out like a light, bitch.
That'd be the best.
Love. But
the sauce be all underneath your fingernails. Nah. That'd be some good eating. Woo.
But we were coming back from the cook off, and we were kind of having the conversation. We're just like, maybe we need to start shifting our priorities a little bit, because we've been having conversations about house and having a house and getting a house and getting a house. And then I kind of looked at him, I was like, but do we need a third bedroom? Like, we live in a 2-bedroom. Like, why do we need a third bedroom right now? Like, just make it make sense. Like,
that.
it's not like we have a lot of people coming to visit us. It's not like we got a lot of guests. Like, we just looking for extra space to have extra
Fill it up with other
space.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. And so then we were just like, so why not start the process of having a kid first? Because that's going to take years. That's not a, you make a decision, boom, they're here tomorrow. Like, that's going to take a couple years, right? Just like Marko was talking about. So we've kind of, like, as a Saturday, decided, okay, we're going to start focusing on having kids first. Because even when the kid comes here for the first year, the kid going to be in the room with us. So it's not like we still need a third bedroom, right? So now we got a minimum of 4 years or a minimum of 3 years before we would even need a third bedroom. We were like,
but this goes back this goes back to the conversation that a lot of us in the queer community are really starting to have with ourselves and with our partners and whomever else we're with. It's like, what are we conditioned to believe that we need as part of a happy, healthy, fruitful, successful life? And what does it really look like? Because when you really start to unpack that shit, you start to realize that, like, a lot of the stuff that you're conditioned towards ain't it.
Don't even mean shit at all.
It's
like, I'm just doing this for a facade or for playing game. Like, it's just taking up energy space. Like, ugh.
So these are like topics that we wanted to talk about on the podcast, like stuff that's like a little bit more real, right? Do you say like things that, like, because it was like fun back in the day to talk about like how to argue successfully, and do you and your partner travel well together? Like, those things are like fun, and they're still really important. All of those seasons and those episodes are still available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
There we go.
But but with that being said, Tony and I are like getting older, so we want to talk about like, like retirement shit. Like, what does our 401ks and things like that look like moving forward, right? And Tony's pension and all of that stuff like that. Insurance shit. What happens when shit goes down and you need to make sure that your partner and your living will and all of that stuff is like filled out correctly? Like, aging shit. Like, what happens like when you can't bust it down like you used to because you got bad knees now, right? Like
still
what?
Try though. Still try.
Yeah, what happens?
Somebody better pick my ass up, but I'm still
tell you, it's a one-legged squat at this point, bitch. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. No, because I've been telling Tony, I've been like, I have been in more MRI machines lately than I think is normal, because my body is just snap, crackle, and popping all over the place, and it's not cute. So like,
not Lindsay Wagner, not Lindsay Wagner and the bionic body over there.
Shit. So those, because again, I think that this is more like grown shit to like start talking about when it comes to relationships. And so season 8 is going to be a lot more of that.
So y'all are entering your grown relationship era, is it?
Yeah.
So the conversations are kind of growing beyond like, where do you go to dinner? Where do you go for date night? To like, how do you keep the spark alive?
Yeah. Well, like, and again, like,
no
how
longer
do you extend your bedtime from 9 to 9:30?
Yeah. That part. No, but
how do you throw it down?
Do you really like your spouse?
Things that used to serve you back in the day that don't serve you anymore. Tony and I were sitting here talking, and we were like, we spent all of our early 20s in the gay bars and in the clubs and drinking and having a good time. And we're here in our 40s, and we're like, I don't really want to drink like that anymore. It's not healthy for me anymore. Like, I don't want to wake up on a Sunday hungover. I want to go to the farmer's market.
I think you lost Jawan. I think you lost Jawan.
But that's not to say that we don't enjoy it. It's just that, like, how do you
drink
do
like
better
a fish,
in life?
honey? I've seen. I can.
I
don't have the screenshots.
I can toss a few back.
Right.
I can toss a few back. I ain't gonna lie.
There's some repercussions. There's some more repercussions this time around.
I posted something on the stories that said, "Going to your 30s is saying I can't drink like you used to, and then proceeding to drink like you used to."
Exactly.
But you know, I think one of the big difference, because like this whole conversation about drinking and like, you know, and getting older, they are
He says as
definitely
he's sipping
related.
wine. I'm talking about
It's-
Jarrell.
when you know that you got better and less expensive liquor at home, that desire to drink out be like, wow.
And I think that's the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference.
That's what it
Like,
boils
for
down
me,
to.
I will still drink, but I would rather have those drinks at home, right? Versus going out and spending extra money when I know I got the same shit at home.
Oh, I
And
always
I
used
got
to bring
less
my
people
flask
to
to the
annoy
bar.
me.
I never paid for it.
Yeah, just get the class.
I'm a classy
That's
bitch.
right. I'm weird. Like I still I get energy of being out. Like that fills me up. I don't even need to drink per se, but like being around people, being around the music and all that like fills me up. And so
Me too, because I'm a people person. I need to like
you
be
know,
in.
and
I
so
need
Corey
like everybody's
always like,
essence.
why do you want to go out? And it's like it's not about like going out and drinking. It's about that energy that's out there. That me sitting at home on a Friday, I'm like, bitch, like I did this all week.
Yeah.
I did this shit all week. What the fuck we doing? I don't want to watch TV no more.
I get that. For me, y'all know my face. First of all, like I see people and I just know that I don't have a filter. And so for everyone else's safety and protection, I just remove myself off the equation.
Not for everyone else's mental health.
Right. You know,
I get
stay
it.
home.
Yeah.
No, it's true because I say it all the time. Like 25-year-old me used to be in the middle of the club dancing around like I ain't got no sense. 39-year-old me, if someone bumps into me or some white girl flips her hair in my direction, I am ready to fight. I don't want anybody's body touching up against me. I just want to be like left alone. So, but it's weird because there's that like switch that takes place, right? Like you just kind of change the way you feel about those things. And so it's just different.
I also feel like as the sage one of the group, I also feel like going out serves a very different purpose at a certain age in life, and especially depending upon your relationship status and all that kind of fun stuff. Because like, you know, if you have the privilege of being able to come out, you know, in your early 20s or early or whatever, your 20s, one's 20s is usually about exploration. I want to try and I want to do everything because, you know, I ain't got nothing to lose. I want to experience life, 30s is really about knowing who you are. It's like, okay, I spent my 20s doing this, that, and the other. I didn't hopscotch across all this, And now I know what I like. Now when I know what I don't like, these are the things I'm willing to do. These are the things I'm not willing to do. By the time that you get into your 40s, and I can speak of experience, by the time that one gets into their 40s, it's like, what brings me joy? And when it comes to like going out, for me personally, I can only speak about my own personal experience. For me personally, it is about spending time with my friends. It's very insular. It's not extralar. That's not a word, but you know, it's not.
She has
It is now.
Write
that down.
She had more than two. She let you know.
Right.
She had more than two.
She had a couple of caipirinhas and some sake, so she's making up shit. But like, it's not about them anymore. It's not about being out and like it. For me, I'm not saying, you know, because everybody's different. For me, it's not about going out for the purpose of like being out with other people. It's like if I go out, and y'all know, because you know we hang. Like I want to hang with my people. I want to be with people that I care about, with people that I know, the genuine relationships. And when we go out, honey,
it'd be a key.
Yeah, you don't even know. Like,
yeah.
Well, and that's my thing too. Like with my friends here in Seattle, 92% of them are single. So like their reasons of going out is
You're
just
having a hard
completely
time.
different than mine. And I'm just like, y'all gonna be in trouble. Nah. Like, because you know, because I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna be like, so my friend think you're cute. But then, like, sometimes people be like, "Oh, but so are you?" And I'm like, "No." See, and that's how.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
And
Nah.
and them single friends will get you single in a heartbeat.
It's true. No,
Yeah.
I'm a very good wingman. Shout out to my friend Steve, who I have
Steve.
an amazing record with making sure that Steve has a very nice night out.
And sometimes a morning in.
Like INN.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
Real
the
quick.
upcoming season here, boo.
A question about so for people who don't know what your podcast is really about. I mean, I know there's intonation in the title, but talk to us a little bit about like what your podcast is all about.
Would you like to take it away? Oh, he's drinking. I'll take it away. So our podcast
It's just water, I swear.
Is the Relationship Podcast is a gay look at traditional relationships and values. It started because Tony and I, as a queer couple, wanted to be able to go out and like meet other couples and like be able to like do things with other people and like hang
With our
out
clothes
and
on.
yeah, with our clothes on
Right.
and have a good time, go to the movies, go bowling, have a good time. But what we were finding is every single time we were doing that, couples were like, "So when do we get to the sex part?" And we were like,
Never.
that's not on the menu. Like, and so it took us back. And look, literally no disrespect to anybody who is in an open relationship or has fun with other people, but it just wasn't what Tony and I were doing. As a matter of fact, we were made to feel insanely alien because as gay men, everyone was like, "Why would you want to be monogamous?" And it's like, because I love him. and so it was a whole thing. So we started the Relationship Podcast to talk about relationship issues, the shit that you go through to be with the person that you love, that you might need some help with. You might need somebody on your side. You might need to hear somebody settle your argument with you. Like, you might need to do those things, and you just need some tools and some tricks and maybe even some tips on how to be able to like love and connect and be with one another, even though there's a whole slew of shit that you have to go through to get there. So that was our goal. And again, we've been doing it for what? It's been 6 years, 8 seasons at this time. And it's been fun.
You
I know
summed
we
it up
asked this,
well.
like when you were here. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying you summed it up well. It's very good.
Oh, thank you.
I know we asked this last time you were on here, and you gave a couple examples. Is there one singular thing that you've learned on this journey that you didn't know before you started this journey? And I think, Marko, last time you mentioned something about the open relationships, like your mind has evolved on that concept. But I'm wondering, in the 3 seasons since then, has there been another maybe potential topic that you're like, oh, maybe I'm starting to evolve or whatever it may be on that?
I'm gonna let Tony go first. I have my answer, but I want Tony to go first.
I know the one that kind of, there's lots of times where I get blown away, usually multiple times per season. I think if I had to pick one, it was the one where we talked about how you prioritize things. So like
you said that last time. Yeah, I remember
yourself, your relationship, your friends, your career, and the order that you put those things in. And I still go back and think about that.
Yeah.
And I have a practice where I sit, every morning and I try to set my intentions for the day. And then at the end of the day, I kind of reflect back and I'm like, okay, how well did I do? What can I try to do better tomorrow? And one of them is, not every day, but pretty regularly now, I do ask myself, like, so what order did I put things in today? And how clearly did I communicate that was the order of my priorities?
Yeah.
And so I would say that, like, from a never having encountered it before, it really blew me away. From a routine practice and how it's changed what I do every day, the way I interact with my partner, I would say that one is still the most impactful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, and it's a topic that we're going to be talking about this season, but it's not RSVPing to that party. And what that means is everything does not have to be a fight, right? And sometimes you can see the embers of a fight starting to crackle, and you can totally see where it's at a 2 right now, and with this comment I'm gonna take it up to a 4, and then they're gonna have a rebuttal, and it's gonna go up to an 8, and then we're gonna really be thrown in there. And I have really been trying to practice the art of not RSVPing to that party. If there's something that I don't want to go to or somewhere I don't want to be, I am so good at being like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go, but go have fun, like have a good time. And that has been a practice that I've been trying to do in our relationship as of lately. And Tony and I have been through a lot of really, really challenging things in 2023. It was not the most amazing year for the Critellis, but we have had we've had a lot of challenges, and some of them have been relationship challenges. And a lot of my efforts have been saying, you know what, not going to RSVP to that party.
Yeah.
And it has really diffused our situations, and to the point where Tony has literally come back and said to me, like, I really appreciate you listening, or you talking to me through that situation, or and it's been nice. It's been a lot more tranquil. So yeah.
Because Marco's the cause of most of the fights, so it's nice that he doesn't do that anymore.
He said, I'm not RSVPing
know,
right now.
Them Geminis
RSVP.
always got they always
Not
got
gonna
parties on
RSVP.
deck. So
He
That's
owns
funny
the house
you
where
said
the
that
heart
RSVP,
party is
though.
held.
I'm not gonna
It's like-
RSVP.
I saw, I forget, it was like maybe Kelly Clarkson was on some interview and she was talking about like her divorce and things like that, blah, blah, blah. And that was something that she said she learned through therapy. She's like, I don't need to attend that party. And
Yeah.
that has stuck out in my mind.
Yeah.
And literally, I don't like to fight. I don't cause a lot of confrontation because it's just not that deep to me. But if you come at me crazy, I'm going to out crazy. You're crazy. You're not going to outthink me. You're not going to outsmart me. Da 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 da. And it's something that I'm like, Carell, did you really though have to go there? Like, did you really have to attend that party? Like, was it that necessary? And so that's something recent in the last 6 months that every kind of maybe dispute that Corey and I kind of get into, I try. I'm not good at it yet. That I try to think, do you really need to show up to this one right now? Like, what are we going to gain out of this? Like, but sometimes I'm like, no, I'm about to give you this housewarming gift, ho.
See, for me, I have no problem with the RSVPing because I know that I can be slick with my words. So often I am very good at making sure that I don't. Like I know because I can easily go there. So I've learned the skill of making sure not to add fuel to the flame. But what I'm learning is how to just let things go. Like not to talk about everything, because the Capricorn in me is very much like we need to figure this out. We need to like solve it and move on. And I don't like to be on eggshells around my own house. I don't like to be going to bed, not talking, not loving each other. Like that just don't sit well in my spirit. So for me, I'm like, well, let's talk about it. And I can keep calm, but I also know that over there. Over there,
Go turn up.
Lights be pushing some buttons and then my ass be showing, and I'd be like, so maybe I shouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah. I don't and I don't think this is Gemini because my parents are not Gemini, but I came from a very my family does not shy away from confrontation. Like they are always ready to nuck if you buck. Like they are ready for it. And so it's in me, like it is inherent. Like I know where it starts, and it's just something that I don't necessarily want, because I am in a relationship with a Pisces who is very emotional, and my words can hurt him at times. And so I have to do my best to not hurt him, because I don't want to intentionally hurt him. And so I have to
most of the
figure
time
out how and so I have to figure out how to not RSVP to that party, which he keeps trying to invite me to.
So you didn't respond? I don't see your RSVP yet.
Exactly. And so, yeah,
And
so
not
that
the
way we can have a little
not
bit
the
more
Gemini
tranquility.
being provoked by the Pisces. This is
I'm telling
very
you guys,
uncharacteristic.
if
But
there was a
okay.
camera in our home and everyone saw exactly what was going on, everyone would be
It's called
like, Marco,
OnlyFans.
Marco, we are so sorry that we ever doubted you.
To Marco, do you want to fight? Yes or
Right.
no?
So wait a minute.
Right.
Okay, so I got a question.
Check a
So
box.
between the two of you, which of the two of you have to speak it into the hole more than the other?
Wait, what? Wait, what are you actually asking?
That's a valid statement. Right. Clarify your question.
You saw Marco face. You saw Marco face though.
I'm about to open that hole tonight.
I'm about to scream in that hole tonight, ho. I know that's right.
I will not regale you with tales from our marriage bed, okay?
Just make sure you young tail first, girl. Young tail first, girl. Tongue first. Excuse me, tongue first.
Well, you know,
Devon knew what he was doing when he asked that
so
question
did.
that way.
Oh, Devon know exactly what he be doing. The community be knowing what he be doing. Well, we're going to skip Ashley Aunties this week, but we do want to kind of get to know maybe more of the relationship vibes as well. And we're going to do a curiosity with you.
Okay.
It's kind of going to be in that vein of like who's more likely to, et cetera, et cetera. And so, community, this might be a good segment to watch on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, please hit the bell button, the subscribe button,
now,
all that good
whores.
stuff. You know, we'll wait. You can pause right quick. You know. There we go. Thank you for hitting subscribe. And if not, we'll try to be diligent about saying who said who. And actually, I'm gonna start here because we kind of talked about this. Who do you think would be the stern parent?
Marco.
Oh, it would totally be. Tony would practically be the older brother.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the funny one?
Marco thinks it's him.
Tony.
What do you think, Marco?
I don't know. I
I
would
got the dad
say,
jokes.
yeah, I would say Tony. I would say Tony. Yeah, our 7-year-old niece was obsessed with Tony when we were with her. They were telling each other fart jokes. They were it was a whole thing. So yeah, I'll say Tony.
Who's more romantic? Tony said himself.
I'll give it to him because I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Who's
That's so romantic of you.
Who's
so romantic of you.
Right. Thank you.
you.
That is such a Gemini way to answer, because she could have just been like, Tony, because I love him, and then reap the benefits of that answer. But
Right.
she took that knife and said,
right. Fuck around and find out.
14 years we've been together, and I don't think Tony understands what romantic looks like for me. So his definition of romance is like the stuff that I'm like, that's corny, like that's cheap, like I don't need that. And so it's not what I would define as romance, but it's what he
But over time, you
likes
realize
for
that's
romance.
him trying to
That's
be
how he
romantic.
loves. That's how he shows love.
Yeah.
I've had to do
I'm
that before.
I'm more
like, some
classically.
days.
Yeah.
So you like writing the card, you like the flowers, you like.
I like the nice dinner.
Grey
I like
Poupon.
the romantic evening. Yeah, no Grey Poupon.
Do they even make Grey Poupon anymore?
Oh,
why Tony showed up there with some Intamins?
Dry ass donuts.
I know better. I'll get Marco some gummies.
Who's more patient?
Ooh,
Good question.
that is a really good question.
We are
Yeah,
both
playing with your face.
very patient.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
both.
what's your
It's
answer?
both of us. It's both. I know I'm patient.
I would actually probably give it to.
No, we're both
I would-
patient. We both are.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
strength we
in
both have.
different ways. Because in ways that Tony's not patient, I'm like, why are you getting your titties in a twist right now? Like, calm down. It's not that deep. And then other ways, that I would be impatient. Tony's like, dude, calm down. Like it's so yeah. I think it's pretty split down the middle actually.
Okay.
Mhm.
Who said I love you first?
I did.
Oh,
I was
okay.
drunk.
Tony
It
agrees.
was the Long Island iced teas.
It does it to you every time.
Honey,
I mean, it
them
was a
teas,
bachelorette party, so
they need to call
It
them the truth
was.
teas.
It was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I did. I definitely did.
Who requires more attention?
Oh, Tony.
He said, it was
I
like,
own that.
for
I
me.
own that.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't say
Oh
No,
no, I
Marco
did.
did.
I'm like, me.
And Tony said me from the get-go.
Yeah, it's Tony.
And
Yes.
you know, on the replay, that is going to be amplified, so everybody can hear it.
Oh, it'll be slowed down. Oh.
That's your new ringtone, Marco.
There you go.
Who's more possessive, like of one another?
Oh, me.
Tony.
Okay.
I will cut a bitch.
That's right.
I am not like I'm not jealous. I'm not
Do you want to keep
possessive.
those eyes? You better stop looking.
I know who I'm going home with. Like I have no problems with that shit. I know who I'm going home with, but Tony is like
I have a separate account just to save for bail.
I had this man ask me in the bar. He was
Here
like,
it
"Oh my god,
comes.
I love
Here it
your
comes.
outfit. Where'd you like blah blah blah?" And he's talking to me, and Tony's like, "He was standing too close to you." I was like, "Tony, he was he was carrying a purse. We were having a kiki. Like we're good. Like I was like, he's fine. Like what are you worried about? Like we're sisters. That was not a wanted to be boyfriend girlfriend type of situation. What are you doing?" Ugh.
I will castrate that man and make him your sister.
Damn.
He said, I got that
It's
bill
the
money
energy for
ready.
me, honey.
It is the energy. I know that's
I
right.
love it.
Not encourage that.
Let's see. Who's the freaky one? Tony
Oh.
immediately said,
I need both hands.
She said 10 fingers and 10 toes.
You
Just a
right
little
now,
remark.
I will tell you right now that we have a drawer full of things that are fun to play with, and
Uh-huh.
I was the one that made all of those things happen. It was not Tony.
Okay, then. I mean,
I
that's a
don't
good
need
problem to have.
anything other than what God gave me.
Tony said, I don't need that drawer.
How often do I go in that drawer? Never.
She said that drawer don't make me a freak.
That drawer was empty. I was still a freak.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Who spends more money?
That would be Marco.
Girl.
And also, that would be Marco. And also, that would be Marco.
It is definitely me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Who's in control of the TV or what's on the TV?
Eh, we
Yeah,
don't
it's
really
pretty
do that.
split
We
down the
don't- we
middle,
don't-
actually.
We don't fight over the remote.
Yeah. It's split
Yeah.
down the middle for the most
It's not
part.
a thing for us, yeah.
I will
Who's
say
supposed
one
to-
of
oh,
our
go ahead.
I'm sorry, one of our relationship downfalls is that we quite literally don't watch anything without one another. And so it's like very difficult for because like if he doesn't want to watch it, but I do, it takes me like forever to actually get around to watching it because
Yeah.
all of our TV time is with one another, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's good. You need to teach that skill to Corey Edward. I'd be like, I finally wanted to watch something. Your ass already halfway through the fucking season. Like, what the fuck? Like, well, day off, I didn't have anything else to do.
Vince
ain't
does that
nothing-
same shit to me all the time, and I'd be like, I didn't know you, bitch. We got two other
We
shows
watched the
that's
first
just like
season.
it, like or that part. I'm like, what you mean you didn't know?
Ain't that the worst when you go into Netflix and you see the shit is halfway then ran through and you're like, I was supposed to watch that.
Yeah.
And then he'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, I'll watch it again. No, you won't. You're going to fall asleep.
So here's
I ain't
a
gonna lie.
go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I lied once and said that. Oh no, Netflix just kept playing everything.
Oh yeah, you fell asleep. Right.
That's
I
No,
fell
here's-
asleep.
Here's
That's
here's
a good
here's
one.
the
I
next
watched all that shit.
here's
I
the
love
next
it.
$1 million idea for Netflix. Get couples accounts and make it so you can lock shows.
I'm here for that.
That sounds like a divorce. Like, can you imagine how mad couples would be? How bad couples would be like, motherfucker, you locked my show so I could.
That is kind of like a little like. Sketch,
all right, how about not locking it? How about just tagging it, saying, "Hey, partner, I would like to watch this with you,"
or get an alert on your phone saying, "Oh,
that bitch is cheating on you."
So I can text his ass, like, "Bitch, what? Like, turn that shit off."
That's funny. I love it.
Who's the social butterfly?
Marco.
Me.
Damn, did Carell even finish the question?
Margo.
He already knew.
Who's the better cook?
Better cook? Marco's the better cook.
Mm-hmm.
More frequent cook? That would be Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said, "Don't RSVP. Don't RSVP. Look."
Yeah, no, that has been a point of contention in the relationship for a while. So I always say Tony likes to cook food so that it's no longer raw, but he does not necessarily do anything with it. So there's not, and when he does, it like doesn't make sense with it. Like, you're like, why did you put tarragon on the collard greens or something like that? Like, you just like, he just be putting stuff all over the place.
I only put tarragon on the fish. Thank you very much.
It's just all over the place. So it's like weird. So yeah, so I definitely will say I'm the better cook.
Okay.
But I
don't worry, Tony,
cooking.
you did not lose your black card.
Did I have one?
I hate cooking, so I try not to.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Who's more likely to lose their keys on a night out?
Marco.
Never.
You could have left the night out. You could have left the night out on that. Who's more likely to lose their keys?
I will tell you, I have never lost my keys. Forgotten them at home. I've done that before, but like I've never lost my keys.
He said, "Who's more likely?" Not who has. You're more likely.
I think just because I would. I think because I would be the only person that would actually be going out. It would be me.
Here it comes. There's that RSVP. Marco said, "I'm coming to that party."
I need a straw.
Right.
I'm just saying, by elimination.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see which ones we haven't done. Who's more stubborn?
Ooh, I think it's equal. I think we're both stubborn.
It was the
Marco laughing.
It was the
laughing
for me.
Marco
Y'all
laughing.
gotta watch this because Marco's faces. Even in the last question, he gave the head down.
It was
like, I'm gonna wait and see. What is this motherfucker gonna say?
He said, "I'm giving you telepathy, bitch. You
Yeah,
right. You know the answer.
You know the answer."
Yeah, Tony and I, it's a battle of the wits, if you will. So the two of us, like, we know what we know, and it is very difficult to try to convince the other person to listen to us. So I will say, I'll give you that. I think it's more 60-40 in your direction.
That's fine.
In Tony's direction.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're both very thick-headed and set in our ways.
For sure.
And we'll end on this one. Tony, who is Marco's celebrity crush? Let's see if you know.
Oh, we know.
Oh, I mean, it keeps changing. There's too many celebrities. Yes, it does. It used to be Channing Tatum.
That was like 14 years ago.
And wait, let me check with Webster. The definition of changing is
not Jarrell knowing who my celebrity crush is, and not you.
I only know both of y'all's because we talked about it in Paris. Because you and I had the same crush, but then Tony was like, "Oh, but what's his name from Kick-Ass?" I was like, "Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, that guy. That guy. Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Cotton is my celebrity crush.
What's Tony's celebrity crush, Marco?
I mean, right now, Tony is really into Troye Sivan. He blushes whenever he sees Troye Sivan. Yeah, he likes those little wraithy, almost methy looking boys.
I do.
Yeah.
He's like,
I like him little.
I showed him the Rush music video. He's like, Well, first of all, he was like, I'm gonna have to watch that again because too much
He's
was
like,
going on.
No, it was hands free. It was totally hands free.
It was hand. That's a talent. That's a skill.
She's like, oop, gotta do laundry again.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, he's into Troye Sivan these days.
Only when you remind me of him, but that's not my celebrity crush.
Oh,
You know
who's
who
the
my
main
celebrity
one?
Who
crush
is it?
It's nobody
Oh, it's Jonathan Rhys Meyers. How dare you?
Wait, who's that?
Exactly.
Jonathan Rhys.
Is
Look
that
it-
somebody
look
like
it up.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas from the 90s?
No,
Right.
no.
No.
Look it up and watch their faces when they look it up. Add shirtless.
Wait, Jonathan Rhys Meyers.
RHYS.
RHYS.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Jonathan Rhys Meyers.
this is weird. I just looked him up because someone else on a TV show just said his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who the fuck is literally like this week? What was I watching?
Irish actor.
I can't remember. It's on YouTube. And I was like, who the fuck is so I said did it twice and still didn't remember the dude's name. And looked the same shit up. I don't know where he's from though. I've never seen this man in my life.
I'm not saying that he's not attractive. I'm just saying he hasn't done anything in
Velvet
20 years.
Velvet Underground, Titus, Dracula. He's done a
20
lot of
years.
stuff.
Okay.
Not 20 years.
20 years. When did Dracula come out, Anthony?
Like 8 years ago?
Government.
No, not 8 years ago.
Dracula
a
came
decade.
out. Let's see. I'll tell
2013.
you.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
10 ain't
It's been a
20.
decade.
10 ain't 20. And 8's closer to 10.
You do like
You
him
said,
kind of lately.
I do.
Dewan is not impressed.
Dracula came out in 2013, 2014.
There you go.
Yeah. Dewan
close.
said, bless your heart.
Bless your heart, honey.
But your girl crush is Nicole Scherzinger.
Yes.
You know,
I
but
love
she's
her.
starting to change her face, and I'm not
I know.
sure.
It's a little bit too many injections these days.
And
I
like
know.
they all start to get that upper lip, and it bothers
Yeah.
the shit out of me.
Yeah. But I just still
Mhm.
think she is such a beautiful. I love her and I love
She's
Gal
gorgeous.
Gadot as well. And then Tony
Gal
loves
Gadot is
Jennifer
gorgeous.
Garner.
I do.
Really?
I do
She's
love Jennifer
so
Garner.
wholesome.
She's so pretty.
She looks like the homegirl with the high school with.
is.
Like she looks so like
Yeah.
Midwest.
I know. She's
But you know what?
Supergirl
But
next
for a
door.
white woman, she's aging really well, though.
She
I
is.
will give you that. I will give you
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like, and it does look like she has had at least one encounter with a black man.
You think?
At least
We-
one.
Can we stop talking about white women on this podcast? Damn. I thought this
No,
was
that
called
is fair.
Minority Report. Why we
That
keep
is
talking
fair.
about white women?
That's totally
Damn.
fair. That's totally
And,
fair.
and by the way, the
Can we talk
DMs
about Tay
still
Diggs?
come in about the fucking white girl Rushmore. This is like the biggest scandal of fucking 2023.
I love
It's
it.
this white
I was
girl
listening to that this morning and I was like, you know what? I know who mine would be.
Who
But
was it?
well, because I also see there's a lot of different things too, because I also think that there's a couple of different generations of Mount. Yeah. So mine would actually be very similar. It's like a mixture of Carell's and Jarrell. So I would definitely pick Ari, right? I would definitely pick JoJo. I would definitely pick I had this. Ari, JoJo, Tori Kelly can sing her little ass off too.
But we claiming her now because we found out her
Yeah.
daddy black and Puerto Rican. So we claim her. She
I
off.
don't even know that I knew that.
I didn't
Well,
know
and
that
I
either.
and I thought like I was like I'm pretty sure I heard that once, and then like that came flooding in the DMs. They're like, no ho, her daddy black.
Damn. Okay, so I'm not gonna give that one to her. Then that makes it a little bit easier for me. Cause wait, who else was on the list that I completely forgot about?
Jarrell had Kelly. I had Celine.
Oh,
and
Kelly Clarkson can sing her ass off, and then Pink. I would actually do those four. Those would be my like
Yeah.
four
Pink
white
before
girls.
Barbara.
Barbara.
Okay, you brought Barbara up, and I was like, "What am I listening to right now?"
I don't know. But literally, that's the most
said,
DMs,
I
consistent
said
DMs we've gotten
what
on
I
that segment
said.
all year.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, they care about these little white girl Rushmores. I had to tell a
Yeah.
couple, I was like, we ain't bringing this shit up no more. We done. We
We're
done.
No more.
And yet you brought it up
And
again. There it
and
is.
yet here we
Topic is
are.
closed. Topic is
And
closed.
yet here we are.
The guest asked for it. It's okay.
Yeah,
That's
right.
funny. That's funny.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Tony, Marco, we appreciate you. You guys know you're welcome back anytime, and obviously we'll see each other more in person. We will definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
Tell the community where to find you, your socials, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we are at Pod Relationsh on Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever it's called these days, Facebook, and Threads, and TikTok. So you can check us out there. And then the podcast is the Relationsh podcast. That's SH!T podcast. You can also search for the Critellis, CRITELLIS. And you'll find the podcast there. That's on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. So,
and what days are your episodes coming out again?
They drop every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Nice.
Monday if you're a member of the DNR Studios network.
Yeah, we're part of our network. Yeah, so you get early access to the podcast on Mondays with that.
Okay,
So
help that app out for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone in the hearts and minds? I know there was a lot of kind of like hot topics that we didn't really get to.
Congratulations, Simone Biles.
Yes.
U.S. Championship.
Come on now.
Absolutely. Yep, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And happy 30th birthday to Keke Palmer.
Oh, she said that body's just so
no. Wait. Pause. Happy birthday to Beyonce. It comes out on
Beyonce's
Happy birthday to Beyonce.
Period.
Yes, you are so right. You are so right.
Fuck Labor Day. It's B-Day.
You are so right.
Happy
Marco's wearing the shirt.
Yeah. Oh, I am. I'm wearing my Renaissance World Tour t-shirt right now, y'all.
I know someone said, why y'all talk about Beyonce in every episode? Because McCann and it's deserved, damn it.
You get your own podcast. You can talk about whoever you want to every week.
First of all, Auntie Shar said that.
Wait, you said why we talk about Beyonce every episode?
No.
Oh.
I said because it's our podcast.
You so did.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I tried to be kind. I was like, I don't feel like
no.
There you go.
I got this.
Do not RSVP to that party.
Honey.
Listen.
Because that's the cool thing, I guess, in a weird way. Is like as the show grows, you eventually get a few more trolls or a few more comments, a few more things, and you got to pick and choose them battles. And I'm learning, but and a lot of times I'm like, ooh, I don't need to say it because I know Henny and Shar go get it.
No, and I leave the DMs to y'all. Y'all know I mind my business because I will get us canceled. So I just, you know what?
Yeah, because
I don't got HR orbiting around me.
And
the second you get an LLC after your business name, you gotta figure out how to
think a little different.
How to protect her. But let us be clear. This particular community member has been rocking with us for a number of years. So this is no shade. This is whatever. So this is all light and fun or whatever. But you know, honey, you come for us in the comments. We coming right back. So
and on that note, wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass, and we'll see you next week.
Love you. See you next week.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.